What's up, MBBs? MBB. It's been a minute since I've said that, right? Because, yeah, there's been too many new songs, but now it's time to do the Patreon poll winner of the week, which is Dying Wish, Fragments of a Bitter Memory. So this is off their new album, which is coming out in October, and I'm very excited for this because I've only heard one song from these guys, so it's going to make for a good reaction. Now, if you're new to this band, it's female fronted and it's like old school metalcore sounding. It's pissed off, raw, intense metalcore, so it's going to be fun. Anyway, I think that's all we need for chit chat, so let's fuck do it. Nope.
It was my first memory. Down the aisle, fist full of petals, scattered in your path. Those sacred vows forever changed my world, for better or for worse. Countless lives that you plague, a disease on the path to your grave.
Very old school sounding.
Felt like home, comforted closure I'll never know. True color show, with the bottle in tow, exposing you slow. The color side, still chose to love you, despite the demise of the man.
Ooh, okay, cool switch up. Okay, back to this like pre-chorus. Or maybe it's the chorus. Oh, clean vocals. Making their way through. Okay.
Struck by a warm, familiar face, hand that crushed my heart of gold. Seasons of life forever change, healing the fragrance you still control.
Now what?
You are everything, your disgrace, drunken devil, wicked eyes,
Woo!
bury you, and I would bury you, and I
All right, long fade out. Okay, Dying Wish, Fragments of a Bitter Memory. So like I said at the beginning, very old school metalcore sounding, and this track just case in point, man. Lots of zeros, the raw energy and the breakdowns with like the double kick kind of patterns and then the silence and rest in between. It just seems so OG metalcore. Like, it's fun in its own right. I thought it was a solid track. Didn't love it, but I thought it was solid for its own right. So let's go through the pros and cons. So number one, I think the vocals are really like they're all like ear piercing and very raw sounding. There's a lot of passion in the vocals, and I think that's a big standout. Her screams are just so like brutal, where like you can tell, like feel the passion in her voice. And I've said it before, when there's certain vocalists that you can tell that are doing the vocal techniques in terms of like knowing how to scream properly and fitting those ranges perfectly without hurting their vocal cords. But there's other kinds of vocalists that really seem like they're screaming and angry, right? And I feel like, case in point with her, like her vocals are just so raw, and it adds a lot to the music. Another thing that's pro is the old school metalcore. Like, it's definitely, it reminds me of like, I don't know, Misery Signals with As I Lay Dying, and even a little bit of I Wrestled a Bear once. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like, definitely not as crazy as those guys, I Wrestled a Bear once, but like Misery Signals, especially in terms of like these very heavy verses, but then they blend in these melodies with these chords that kind of ring out. So, you know, in the chorus, they had that picking chord, which really brought a lot of melody to the music and almost sounded emo and post-hardcore there. And that's where like OG metalcore was. It had like a lot of emo flair to it. And yeah, so it's definitely cool to hear that. And like drumming I thought was good. I really like some of the drum patterns in this. Like I said, the double kick patterns were sick, so I really enjoyed that. And overall, it was a really solid song. The cons with this, I felt like the 4-minute duration, I felt that song length. And I don't know if it was because of the really long fade out, but I felt like the song just kind of dragged on for me, and there wasn't enough switch ups after like the first minute. After we heard the first chorus, you know, the song kind of repeated itself a little bit until it got to that bridge. Bridge was nice with like that long extended breakdown outro, so I thought that was cool, but I did feel those 4 minutes for me. And I guess my other con with this is that it's definitely 2007, 2009 metalcore, which is a-okay, but I felt like there was nothing like overly fresh here, and I know that's not what they're trying to do, but I know there's other bands like, I don't know, Static Dress, that are kind of calling out like, or bringing back the old school metalcore. But like I said, this just sounds like something I heard in 2009, so it's not really doing overly that much. There's nothing fresh, overly fresh here. It just sounds like a copycat of what's been done years ago. So I guess for a newer audience that are coming new into metalcore, they can appreciate this for what it is, but someone who kind of grew up with the scene, going into this, it's cool and nostalgic sounding for sure, but there wasn't anything overly fresh here for me. And but yeah, I guess that's really my two cons to Dying Wish, Fragments of a Bitter Memory. I'm curious to know what your thoughts are, so comment down below, spice up my life. What'd you guys think of this tune? I'm curious to know. Also, if you got to this point in the video and you haven't clicked off yet, then I appreciate the shit out of you, man. But other than that, thank you for tuning in. Till next time. Peace.